So, are you dreaming right now? No, seriously, take a second and just look around you. How do you actually know, with absolute 100% certainty that you're awake? What if this screen, my voice, the room you're sitting in, what if it's all just an incredibly detailed construct of your sleeping mind? It's a pretty wild question, right? But asking it is actually your very first step into the practice of what's called critical state testing. Well, welcome to this explainer. I'm so thrilled you're here. Because today, we're embarking on this structured, totally fascinating journey straight into the depths of your own consciousness. Our mission? To capture the absolute essentials of a truly mind-bending manual on this subject, and we're going to do the whole thing in 8 minutes or less. We're breaking down the real science and the trainable skills behind literally waking up while you are still fast asleep. And everything we're diving into today comes directly from our source material, the groundbreaking book Exploring the World of Lucid Dreaming by Dr. Stephen LaBerge and Howard Rheingold. You know, for the longest time, people thought this phenomenon was just myth or maybe magic. But this text, it grounded the whole concept in rigorous methodology and practical everyday exercises. It is literally the ultimate blueprint for the human mind. Okay, so here is our flight path for today. We'll start by defining the lucid dreaming world, then look at tactics for preparing to wake up, move into how to control your dream world, and finally, we'll unlock those real-world dream benefits. Let's kick things off with part 1, the lucid dreaming world and understanding your present state. So, according to LaBerge, lucid dreaming is strictly defined as waking up in the dream world and actively recognizing your present state of consciousness. It is that exact, undeniable aha moment where you suddenly realize, wait a minute, the physical laws around me don't apply right now. And that's because your actual physical body is safely asleep in bed. You become fully, totally aware inside the dream itself. Now, here's the thing. Lucidity isn't usually just a happy accident. It's actually a highly trainable skill. The preparation starts with cataloging your dream signs. Think of these as red flags, like I don't know, noticing a clock is running backwards or seeing a purple dog, things that tip you off that you're dreaming. You've also got to set goals, schedule dedicated practice time, and do some deep physical prep. They talk about progressive relaxation and this fascinating 61-point relaxation technique, where you systematically focus your attention on 61 specific points on your body. It brings you to a place of profound physical stillness while keeping your mind totally alert. Moving right along to part 2, preparing to wake up. This is where all that prep transforms into actionable methodology. Probably the most famous method in the text is MILD, which stands for Mnemonic Induction of Lucid Dreams. It sounds complex, but this cognitive path relies heavily on what's called prospective memory training. That's basically just your ability to remember to do something in the future. In this context, you're remembering to recognize that you are dreaming. You pair that with auto-suggestion and the power of resolution, firmly planting that intention in your mind right before you drift off, so your brain automatically triggers awareness the second the dream cycle begins. Now, if that's not your style, there's an alternative pathway, falling asleep consciously. This is going straight from waking directly into a dream. The book outlines some specific exercises here. First, maintaining relaxed, pot-shaped breathing, which is essentially deep belly breathing. Then you use the hypnagogic imagery technique. You know those weird abstract colors and shapes that form behind your eyelids as you drift off? You just passively watch those without losing your thread of awareness. Sometimes, using the count yourself to sleep technique helps keep your conscious mind gently occupied while your body powers down. And that brings us right back to our opening thought. Because whether you use the MILT technique or you fall asleep consciously, you eventually arrive at critical state testing. This is the ultimate reality check. It's the definitive test you perform inside the dream to confirm, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that you are dreaming. A great example from the book is trying to read some text, looking away, and then trying to read it again. If it changes or morphs, boom, you know your present state of consciousness is a dream. All right, part 3, controlling your dream world and navigating the dreamscape. Because here's the catch. Becoming aware is really only half the battle. Beginners very often wake up the very moment they realize they're dreaming, just out of sheer excitement. To combat this, LaBerge introduces some amazing dynamic control tactics. If you feel the dream starting to fade, you can use the spinning technique, literally spinning your dream body around like a top to ground your awareness back into that environment, or even spin up a completely new dream scene. You can also strike the set to abruptly drop your current location, or even use a dream television to just, change the channel of your reality. It's wild. To understand why on earth these control tactics actually work, the text digs into the actual building blocks of our dreams, our schemas. Schemas are basically our deeply ingrained mental frameworks and expectations about how the world works. Since there's no external sensory input in the dream world, your brain uses these schemas to build the environment around you. By understanding how schemas take us beyond the information given, a lucid dreamer learns a crucial rule. If you expect a door to lead to Paris, your schema builds Paris on the other side. Your expectation literally dictates your reality. And I think this brilliantly illustrates the ultimate paradigm shift of the whole book. You transition away from passive dreaming, where bizarre, random things just happen to you, and you move into actively scripting your own adventure. Through what they call lucid dream incubation, the text explicitly states, you are the hero. You're upgrading from being a passive victim of your subconscious to becoming the active, intentional director of your nocturnal life. Which leads us perfectly into part 4. Real-world dream benefits, and using this as a rehearsal for living. You might be wondering, why go through all this effort? Well, the later chapters lay out some massive, highly practical applications. You can use this nocturnal laboratory as a literal rehearsal for living. You could do a lucid dream workout to practice a difficult speech, or hone a physical sports skill without gravity getting in your way. You can even build a dedicated mental workshop for creative problem solving. Or, perhaps most profoundly, use the healing dream for deep psychological healing and internal integration. Actually, perhaps the most empowering application discussed is overcoming nightmares. Think about it. Instead of waking up in a cold sweat, lucidity allows you to face the fear directly. The text provides specific, actionable exercises for conversing with terrifying dream characters, literally asking them what they represent or what they want from you. It even teaches you how to actively go back to sleep with the firm intention of redreaming a recurrent nightmare. You can rewrite the ending, completely stripping the trauma of its power over you. That's a real game changer. We end our journey through this phenomenal book with a pretty profound concept from the final chapter. Life is a dream, intimations of a wider world. See, LaBerge and Reingold aren't just teaching a neat party trick here. They are challenging us to seek the highest potential of our own minds. By learning to wake up in our dreams, we just might learn to be a little more awake, a little more conscious, and a whole lot more deliberate in our waking lives as well. I really hope this explainer has demystified the incredible hidden world of lucid dreaming and given you a solid foundation to start experimenting. But it leaves us with one final question to ask yourself tonight as your head hits the pillow. If you can learn to completely control your dreams, what limits are actually left in your waking life? Start your journey tonight. If you enjoyed this, subscribe to In 8 Minutes and never miss what matters.